Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. Yes, I'm back. I've been sick for the last month and a half. Literally every day I woke up and I felt worse than the day before. It's been a nightmare. I'm still on treatment. Basically, COVID left me with some nastiness on my throat, and I've been losing my voice on and off for the last weeks, which has been annoying as hell. Trust me. I still cough a lot, so I'm sorry if it's going to bother you, but I cannot do anything about it. But basically today I want to talk about all the books that I've been reading this past month. Basically, it was going to be like a June wrap-up, but because I fell sick again, I've been reading some books this month. So I will not be discussing the SPFFC books because I have already recorded a dedicated video for that you will be seeing before this or next to this. I'm not sure, but you will be seeing it shortly. So I have a good chunk of books. I'm not going to stop too much in any of them because for a couple I will do dedicated reviews, and for the other ones it's just like a bit of a, hey, check this book, it was good. And that's it. So let's just get started. The first one here is Kingdoms of Death by Christopher Rocchio. This is book 4 on the Sun Eater series. And let me tell you, this is the best book in the series so far. It was so good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Probably the best book that I've read this year so far. Like, it was just pure science fiction mixed with some kind of horror elements. There's a lot of torture here, but I loved exploring the CLC culture in general here. It was just super good, super good. Hadrian's character development like shined in this one. It was so good in general. But yeah, they're going to stop in this one, 4th book in the series. Try the Sun Eater series if you just like space opera in general. Don't be discouraged because of book 1, because it's very different from the rest of the series. Like, it's very slow burn, but the rest is just fucking phenomenal. So try the series, it's amazing. Then I read Stones of Light by Sir Cargyle, which is a book 2 after what is the name of book 1? It's super easy. Well, this is book 2 in the Threadlight series, basically. And I think this is even a better book than the first one. Like, it just got everything from book 1 and made it like a step better in every single way. I really liked it. Also, I love where the story is going. Like, I felt the previous book felt a bit like a beginning story, more of a long prologue. But this one, the story, the ending though. The ending, book 3, Bonds of Chaos, if I'm not mistaken, comes out really soon. I will be reading that for sure. I've been really liking this series, and I will highly recommend that you check it out. Like, super cool fantasy series. I give this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. Super solid fantasy book. Like, seriously, try this one. Magic system is amazing. Then I read Rabbits because Scott recommended this one to me. This is a science fiction book, and oh my god, it's so good. If you like what the fuck is going on type of stories, you're going to love Rabbits. Like, it has like the same feeling as, how can I explain this? It's very weird, but for me it felt like a mix between House of Leaves and Ready Player One. It's just super weird because it's related to video games. Basically, this kind of video game is kind of affecting reality. It's super weird. If you like Sao, you're probably going to love this. But I love this book. It was so good, super easy to read. Like, I read it into sittings. I was super invested on it. The ending, probably the like weakest part of it, because you know, once the mystery is solved, there was like a bit of magic. But I don't know. This one was fantastic. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Super good. Highly recommend if you like mystery sci-fi type of books, something in the same vein as Blake Crouch. You're probably going to love this. Then a thriller that I love. Tammy recommended this one to me. This is The Devotion of Suspect X. What a good thriller, dude. What a good thriller. There's something about this type of book when you know who is guilty, but it still has twist. Oh my god, I fucking love that. It's in the same vein as Confessions. I love it. Basically in the first chapter, you're going to follow this mother and her daughter and also their neighbor. And the daughter and the mother basically killed like her partner, and the three of them worked together to hide it. And you know this from the start, but the police is just like hunting them. It's just so good. So good. The ending has me just like wanting to rip my hair out. It's just so good. I really want to continue this series. Because the Galileo series, I think it's called. Super good. If you like thrillers, this one is for you. Like, it was fucking great. Then, because I've developed kind of an obsession, I've been trying to read the manga of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm currently on volume 10, but man, these are good. Like, I do not love the drawing style, honestly, in this one. I don't know why. I felt like I connect more with the art style of Junjito, for example, but I'm so invested in the story that I just really need to know. Like, I want to know so badly. If you have never watched the anime, I highly recommend it. Like, it's so good. Probably one of my favorite animes of all time now. So, highly recommend to check it out. Also, the film, I watched it last month, probably because of this obsession. Then, because I wanted something light, I read Legends and Lattice, which took the whole book community by surprise, basically. It's a very low, chill fantasy book about an orc and their later companion opening a coffee shop. It's just super cute. That's it. If you want plot, well, it doesn't have much of that, okay? But still, it's so cute and so enjoyable, and you will probably really enjoy it in general. So I will still recommend it. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, basically. But it's just so cute, dude. It's just one of your average day type of story, which works super well when it's well done, basically. So it's just so good. It was actually recently picked by Door or Orbit, I don't know, and it's turning traditionally published, basically. But yeah, I just really liked it. If you're looking for a very like chilled type of book, this one's for you. It's like a very good breather between like very heavy books. I just needed something like this because I wasn't reading much at the time, so this was great. I read it in like 2 sittings. It's super short also. The audiobook is fantastic because it's narrated by the author, who is a very famous audiobook narrator. So you're probably going to really like it. Then I read Under Fortunate Stars, which came out in May, but I still hadn't read. And man, this was good. I actually really liked it. Like, I already had like a good feeling about it, but I just really liked it in general. I requested this arc from Rebellion Publishing, and they were kind enough to send me one. But dude, it's so good. It's your kind of time travel, everything needs to fall into place type of story, which is so satisfying to read. I'm not a huge fan of time travel in general. Like, I only like it when it's really well done. And this one is really well done. Like, by the end, you have this feeling of satisfaction where everything is just like, yes, every piece is in its place. But you're going to follow these 2 ships, basically, and they enter this kind of rift space. No one knows how they get there. And the thing is, one of those ships is actually a super famous ship that basically managed to accomplish peace between these races, and now the whole galaxy is at peace. But of course, when they meet them, they are really not like that type of peaceful gang that the story was talking about. It's super good. I highly recommend this one. It's also like really easy to follow, really easy to read, super enjoyable. Yeah, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think that the best parts are the ending and the beginning. The middle sometimes is a little bit slower than the rest, but still works perfectly. Then I read The Pain Eater, which was also an arc that I read on time, thank God. But this is basically a horror story, and it's kind of an exploration of grief and trauma. And it's deep, but it's also pretty disgusting. Honestly, like, there's a dead cat, and I cannot handle that. You know this by now. But the rest I liked and didn't really love. Like, it's very complicated. I think it's a work that is more like not lyrical, not like lyrical, but very literary. So it's not something that I'm used to read. Like, I'm more of a straightforward, straight to the point type of person. So when I get like this more metaphorical type of reads, it's very like hit and miss. For example, on Blind Side, it's very it's very philosophical and metaphorical, and I love it. But here, I do have to say the characters are very unlikable, but you also like feel their pain a lot. And the and the metaphor with pain here, and having this pain eater that takes away your pain and it just puts like joy on its place, it works great with this story. But as I said, I don't think I'm like the target audience for this one. Still, I will recommend that you try it if you feel like the synopsis is interesting enough. But yeah, it's more of an exploration of trauma and pain and grief than anything else, which is not something bad, but it's just not something that fully works with me. So I ended up giving this one 3 out of 5 stars. It's still worth the read, but it's more like, as I told you, more lyrical, more literary than my usual type of horror. Then I read the book for my fantasy book club, which I've been lacking on doing the review. I should have done it like 3 weeks ago, but sickness, you know, so I will do it. So I will do it at the end of this month with The Maleficent 7, which is the book that we are currently reading. But this is Netherland Bone by T.J. Kingfisher. I will tell you right off the bat that I didn't love it, but I didn't dislike it either. Like, it's sitting at a 3.5 for me right now. It's supposed to be horror fantasy. I do think there are horror elements here, but not really to be considered horror fantasy. It's more like a dark fairy tale. And because I was expecting those horror aspects, I think that I didn't love it as much that if this was just advertised as a dark fairy tale. So yeah, I'll talk about this one more in depth on the other video. Then I have Winter World, which was a super surprise. This is basically a book about the Earth starting to get basically covered on ice. Like, it was such a surprise, but there are aliens in this book. I'm sorry to spoil it to you, but it was such a cool twist that I wasn't expecting. If it wasn't for that, I would probably never pick this book up. But the person that recommended this one to me was just like, hey, aliens. I'm just like, wait, what? So yeah, aliens. Check this book out. Like, I really want to read this sequel. Like, this is a trilogy if I'm not mistaken, but yeah. I'm not going to say anything else. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Super enjoyable. I really liked it, but yeah, aliens. Aliens, dude. Then I read The Jasmine Throne, which I actually really like, and I'm really looking forward to reading the sequel, which is coming out this month, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe next month in August. I'm not 100% sure, but this is a kind of fantasy book that has some politics to it. I wouldn't say that it's political, like political intrigue driven. I wouldn't say that, but it definitely has some notches here and there, which is kind of nice. We follow 2 main POVs mostly. We have a princess that has been sealed in this temple against her will, and then we follow Priya. Yeah, it's Priya, right? Yeah, who basically had to just like turn her back on her powers. It's a very interesting story. I was kind of queer-baited a bit because this was very advertised, kind of sapphic, but I don't think we have like that much action, honestly. I don't know, it definitely is sapphic, don't get me wrong, but could have been more. Like, could have been more, definitely. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. Also 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely solid reads lately. But yeah, I'm really looking forward for the sequel. I might reread it actually before the sequel. I don't know. I just really enjoyed this book in general, and I feel like it does have like rereadability to it. I don't know. It's weird, but I just really liked it in general. So if you're hesitating, definitely check this one out. Also, I really like the magic system and the world building, especially the ending. The ending of this book is super good. Super good. It has one of those endings where you're just like, okay, I need the next book now. Then I read The Knave of Secrets, which was an arc that I requested. It came out in June, and hear me out. This had the potential to become one of my favorite books of all time, but it definitely fell in the category of being too short for such a big story. Like, if you want to tell a story about a fucking world that has a lot of politics, you cannot do it in this tiny amount of pages, because it even has maps with political like notings here and there. I don't think you can see it, but it's just like, if you're going to give me this much background before going into the story, you need to develop it while we are reading this book, you know? And I don't think it did. Like, it's mostly like a heist story, which I get it. Like, the games were a super huge part of it, but also the political intrigue was a huge part of it. So give me more. Just don't be shy. Explain the politics here and there. I feel like the plot got like solved super quick. I had to listen to the ending because I ended up listening to it as an audiobook, the last part. I had to listen to it like 4 times because it ended so abruptly that I was just like, wait, am I missing a part of the book? But no, it just ends like this. And it's just like, done. Why? Why? I do have to say that I will probably just read anything else by this author because I think he has such strong potential. So I will keep trying. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with this one. I really liked the beginning, but then didn't develop enough. So I'm a bit sad. But I ended up giving this one 2.5 or 3 stars or 5 stars. It's okay. It's okay. I will definitely give it a try if you want to, but I'm a bit sad about it too. Then after The Knave of Secrets, I read Upgrade, the new book by Blake Crouch. And this has been a disappointment to me on so many levels. Like, I give this one like 3 stars, but probably 2.5, honestly. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. This book didn't work for me. Like, it's not that it didn't work. It just felt super middle of the road. Like, it's just like, I could have not read it and I'll be just fine. Like, it gave me nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's basically about this world that is obsessed with like genes in general. The new attacks are just like changing your genes. It's just okay, interesting enough. But then this dude just gets an upgrade and that's it. It felt like you were being lectured all the time, which is not something that I usually mind. But for this book, it just didn't work at all. And it makes me so mad because he's one of my favorite sci-fi authors, like such a long mile. And it just didn't work. It's a completely mid book. Like, it feels so wrong to say this, but it's just so mid. So mid. And it makes me so sad, honestly. But yeah, probably got one of the most forgettable books that I've read. It makes me so fucking mad. After loving Recursion, I fucking love that book and the whole concept of it. This one, honestly, I'm not even going to recommend that you try it. Like, you can completely pass on it. It's fine. Then the more recent ones, I read Of Blood and Fire, which was so good. So good. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Like, I already knew that it was going to be good. I follow the author on Twitter and everyone loves this book in general. But I was so surprised by it. It reminded me so much of Aragon. It has dragons, which I should have known, but I started the book without having read the synopsis. I don't know why. I was just like, okay, this is going to be great. And I read it for the India Courts readathon, which I'm participating, even though I haven't declared my TBR because I'm a mess. But I love this book. Like, it's just so interesting from start to finish. Literally, there's no drag in the middle, there's no nothing. I do have to say that sometimes I was a little bit lost with all the characters, especially because I only listen to it. I don't have a physical copy, so sometimes I got a bit lost with the names. But that's my only complaint. Literally. The rest of the book is fucking great. I cannot wait to read the rest. Like, book 2 is already out. I also have a novella to read, but I just want to get physical copies of all of them. Like, it was so good. So good. Literally. If you're hesitating on picking up this book, just do it. Probably one of the best self-published books that I've read. I think this has a potential to become one of my favorite series. Honestly, so good. Like, literally so good. Then I read Hide, which I just needed like something soft after that great of a book. And I chose this one because it's a kind of a mystery horror type of book about a group that has to hide in this amusement park for like 7 days, and one of them wins if they are not caught. And of course it has like a horror twist, but again, a super just okay book. Nothing out there happened, like absolutely predictable in every single way. literally have nothing else to say about it. If you want to read it, just try it. Why not? It's not going to waste your time, but it's just so predictable. Like literally the moment you start it, you know what's going on. Like it's so predictable. But yeah, I ended up giving this one a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Literally middle of the road. It's okay. If you're looking for a light read, sure, take this one out. And the last book that I read is Dread God by Will White. I know that a lot of people are not loving this one. I don't care. Like, I'm so invested in this series that I just cannot score this like critically. I just cannot give this one a score critically. I cannot, because I just love it so much that I just enjoy every page of it. I don't care if it's slow or whatever the fuck people are saying it is. No disrespect, honestly. But I just love it. And the ending had me gasping. Like, I knew that it says Dread God in the fucking cover, but I wasn't expecting that turn that it took on the middle. Like, I was going from another direction, and so good. So good. The ending had me like, I just need the next book. I just need the next book. It's such a like cohesive series in general. It feels just like it's part of a super grand story. In a way, I just cannot wait to finish it. But also, I just want more. I just never want this series to end. It's just so complicated. I have so many feelings. But yeah, I give this one 5 out of 5 stars. It's probably 4.5, not 5 stars. But I just really like this in general. And I read it in 2 sittings, even though it's a long one. Seeing that the cradle is usually like pretty short. But I need more. I want more. I don't care. I just love this one so much. So yeah, those were basically all the books that I finished. I'm currently reading The Swordsman's Lament and listening to the audiobook of Flames of Mira. So I will let you know next week how I'm doing with them. But yeah, what books have you finished recently? Please just let me know. If also you have read any of these, also your opinions, please. I will love those, especially if you have read Upgrade. I would love to know your opinion, honestly. But just leave a comment down below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.